From the outside, Janet Jackson's life may appear to be the graceful aftermath of a legendary pop career, but behind the velvet curtain lies a meticulously constructed empire crafted not just through chart-topping hits, but through years of calculated decisions, stunning performances, and high-stakes business plays that quietly turned her into a near-billionaire. While the world sees her as the soft-spoken youngest sibling of the Jackson dynasty, those who look closer uncover a woman who has masterfully leveraged fame into fortune without ever selling out her integrity. With an estimated net worth approaching $200 million, Janet Jackson isn't just a global icon, she's a financial force. Her lifestyle is a mesmerizing blend of old-school elegance and new money mastery, split between exclusive penthouses overlooking Central Park and hillside estates in Beverly Hills. But unlike many celebrities who flaunt their wealth, Janet's sophistication lies in the subtleties, the rare art collections, the vintage Porsche she keeps tucked away, the massive equity stakes in companies most fans don't know she owns. She's been described as Hollywood's most elegant recluse, someone who commands attention without needing to ask for it, but that's just the surface. Beneath her low profile lies a staggering tale of reinvention, private victories, and hidden millions. From mega deals with record labels to deeply personal investments in real estate and intellectual property, Janet has written a playbook on wealth and longevity that even Wall Street should study. She's not just surviving, she's thriving in silence, and the deeper we dive, the more astonishing her story becomes. And if you thought her fortune was built on nostalgia alone, prepare to have that idea shattered. The journey begins with music, but that's only the first chapter of a legacy still in motion. Long after the final encore fades and the stage lights dim, Janet Jackson's music continues to echo through the industry, not just as a cultural touchstone, but as a financial juggernaut that delivers millions in revenue year after year. With over 100 million records sold worldwide, Janet stands firmly among the best-selling artists in music history. But it's not just about volume, it's about longevity. Iconic tracks like Rhythm Nation, That's the Way Love Goes, and Together Again continue to generate seven-figure royalties annually, fueled by a potent mix of streaming plays, commercial placements, and licensing deals. Her catalog has become a cash-generating asset class of its own, with earnings pouring in from Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and even feature films and global ad campaigns. Industry insiders estimate that publishing income alone is worth $81 million, while the gross revenue from total album sales has surpassed $260 million, and it doesn't stop there. Her residual income from back catalog licensing deals brings in $10, $20 million per year, depending on market fluctuations and streaming boosts triggered by anniversaries or viral moments. It's the kind of financial structure most musicians dream of building, but rarely achieve. And the brilliance lies in how she's retained ownership stakes and controlled rights, ensuring that her legacy feeds her fortune. Janet's approach to music wasn't just artistic, it was entrepreneurial. Even decades after their release, her hits still climb the charts in various countries, resurfacing on curated playlists and being sampled by newer generations of artists. In an industry where fads come and go, Janet Jackson's catalog is pure gold, timeless, profitable, and built to last. And while her records play on repeat in households and headphones across the globe, behind the scenes, her bank account continues to sing in perfect harmony. While most artists slow down as they age, Janet Jackson proved that her command of the stage, and the millions it brings in, is only growing stronger with time. Her legacy as a performer is unmatched, with her live shows generating an astonishing $450 million plus in gross ticket sales across decades. These aren't just concerts, they're spectacles, events that sell out in minutes, often breaking records wherever she goes. From the historic Rhythm Nation World Tour to her Unbreakable World Tour, Janet transformed her stage presence into a brand of its own. One of her most iconic moves came with her Las Vegas residency Metamorphosis, which raked in $13 million in just 18 shows, and the momentum hasn't slowed. Since December 2024, Janet has been on an explosive return to the Vegas Strip, headlining a new residency that continues to sell out night after night, prompting 6 additional shows to be added in May 2025 due to overwhelming demand. In an era where streaming dominates, Janet proves the power of physical presence. Her shows are known for their cinematic production, stunning choreography, and emotional storytelling, keeping fans old and new returning for more. It's not just nostalgia, it's an experience. And for Jackson, these shows are more than performances. They're lucrative engines of legacy, bringing in tens of millions per year, reinvigorating catalog sales, boosting social engagement, and pushing merchandise revenues through the roof. Few artists can say they're more in demand now than they were 20 years ago, but Janet can. Her ability to generate crowd hysteria, area. Corporate sponsorships and sold-out venues on command is a business model in heels. Every ticket she sells is a statement. Janet Jackson is not a relic of the past. She's the main event of the present. And the best part, she's just getting started. Janet Jackson's influence extends well beyond the stage and into the film industry, where her talent brought not only applause but also serious financial rewards. In 2000, she pocketed a stunning $5 million for her lead role in Nutty Professor 2: The Klumps, plus another $1 million for contributing to the soundtrack, a dual payday that most actors only dream about. But her cinematic journey didn't start there. Earlier roles in Poetic Justice, Why Did I Get Married, and For Colored Girls helped establish her as a bankable, emotionally resonant actress with serious range. And while those projects brought in substantial income, perhaps more significant was how she balanced her acting schedule without compromising her music empire. Her early television days on classics like Good Times, Different Strokes, and Fame laid the groundwork for what would become a multimedia career. These roles not only paid well but also helped craft her public persona, fiercely independent, quietly powerful, and always in control. While exact earnings from all her films haven't been disclosed, industry insiders suggest that her total earnings from film and TV exceed $20 million, not including the boost those appearances brought to her music sales and merchandise. Janet's screen presence carried weight not just in ticket sales but in brand appeal, expanding her influence to new audiences and opening doors to future partnerships in fashion, film, and digital entertainment. Every on-screen role she accepted seemed curated for impact, never chasing trends or vanity, but aligning perfectly with her brand as a powerful woman navigating a complicated world. Whether it was heartfelt drama or mainstream comedy, Janet made sure her image remained both profitable and iconic. And in Hollywood, where fame is often fleeting, Janet turned temporary roles into permanent revenue streams. In the world of music deals, few moments were as groundbreaking as when Janet Jackson signed her $32.50 million contract with Virgin Records back in 1991, the largest ever for a female artist at the time. That moment wasn't just about a big payday, it marked her formal arrival as a powerhouse who could command respect and rewrite industry norms. And she didn't stop there. Years later, she co-founded Rhythm Nation Records in collaboration with BMG, gaining complete creative control and maximizing profits on all her releases. This shift from artist to owner wasn't just symbolic, it was strategic. By owning her masters and publishing rights, Janet restructured how revenue flowed. With albums like Unbreakable, released under her label, she didn't just collect performance royalties, she earned across distribution, licensing, and publishing too. Her mastery of business negotiations didn't stop at music. Janet's contracts were always designed with long-term wealth in mind, ensuring that each release became a future asset. Unlike many artists trapped in restrictive label deals, Janet engineered her own liberation and profited massively from it. These deals gave her leverage in future collaborations, increased her visibility in the financial sector, and added serious weight to her business reputation. She understood early that to survive in an evolving industry, she couldn't just be the product, she had to be the producer, the rights holder, the CEO. Her savvy made her not just a musical icon, but an entrepreneurial force who could stand beside moguls like Jay-Z or Diddy. And while many female artists were still fighting for equal pay and representation, Janet was already collecting 8-figure checks and calling her own shots. Her success proved something powerful, that ownership isn't just freedom, it's generational wealth in the making. Janet Jackson may be famously private, but when it comes to endorsements, she plays the long game, and it's made her millions. Unlike most celebrities who sign one-off sponsorships for quick cash, Janet strategically aligns herself with brands she believes in, often choosing equity over flat rates. On social media alone, she's believed to earn between $2.3 million and $2.9 million annually through sponsored posts and behind-the-scenes brand deals. But the magic is in how she structures those agreements. By securing equity shares in the companies she promotes, Janet ensures her influence translates into long-term wealth, not just temporary paychecks. It's a quiet but brilliant playbook, one that mirrors strategies used by billionaires like Rihanna and Gwyneth Paltrow. Her endorsement history is deliberately low profile, carefully curated to maintain authenticity and avoid overexposure. This scarcity model only increases her brand value. When Janet backs a product, it's not just an ad, it's a statement. And behind closed doors, these moves have allowed her to accumulate silent stakes in tech, fashion, and wellness brands, some of which have already already doubled or tripled in value since she signed on. It's the kind of strategic positioning that turns influencers into investors and keeps her wealth engine turning without flashing it in front of the world. Jackson doesn't need flashy commercials or viral gimmicks. Her brand is built on credibility, legacy, and smart contracts. And while the public may not always see the logos, the boardrooms know exactly how much her nod is worth. Janet's endorsement strategy is the ultimate power move: influence without oversaturation, credibility without compromise, and millions without a single word spoken. While Janet Jackson's business life has always been ruthlessly calculated, her personal relationships have often unfolded in the public eye, bringing with them not just emotional costs but astronomical financial implications. Her marriage to Qatari billionaire Wissam Al Mana became a media obsession, and though shielded by a strict prenup, reports have suggested she walked away from the 5-year marriage with a $200 million settlement, a figure still unconfirmed but widely discussed in entertainment and business circles alike. The whispers grew louder when the divorce was filed just months after Janet gave birth to their son Isa at age 50, a milestone that marked both joy and the start of a complicated new chapter. But this wasn't the first time Janet's love life came with financial consequences. Her earlier, long-hidden marriage to Rennie Elizondo Jr., which remained a secret for nearly a decade, ended in a $10 million divorce payout, a hefty cost for privacy. Janet's discretion may have shielded her from public scandal, but behind the silence were courtrooms, settlements, and high-stakes legal battles. Even her inheritance from brother Michael Jackson has been surrounded by conflicting reports. Some claim she received $60 million, while others insist his will left everything to his children, leaving Janet to thrive solely on her own merits. Regardless of the truth, what remains undeniable is that Janet Jackson never needed an inheritance to survive. Each of her romantic entanglements, whether fleeting or decade-long, came with lessons, headlines, and yes, money. But through it all, she never lost control of her narrative. While tabloids speculated and social media buzzed, Janet kept moving in silence, ensuring that each chapter, no matter how personal, would be one more step in securing her financial legacy. In a world obsessed with exposure, she mastered the art of escape, often stepping out of the spotlight just long enough to re-enter it with even more power. When it comes to wealth building, Janet Jackson doesn't just sing about control, she exercises it in every portfolio move. Behind her velvet-gloved demeanor lies a sharp financial strategist who's invested in some of the world's biggest corporations, quietly amassing a fortune far beyond her entertainment income. Insiders estimate she owns equity stakes in 14 major companies, including Apple, Amazon, AT&T, Walmart, and Berkshire Hathaway, with her total portfolio valued around $30 million. But that's not all. Janet maintains over $25 million in liquid cash reserves, giving her unmatched flexibility in an unpredictable economy and allowing her to strike at new opportunities with zero hesitation. While many celebrities throw money at trendy ventures that flop in 5 years, Janet's approach is rooted in stability, long-term yield, and institutional power. These aren't meme stocks or cryptocurrency gambles, they're blue-chip holdings that pay consistent dividends and provide insulation during market crashes. It's the financial playbook of a mogul, not a musician. And for those wondering if her empire includes any hand-me-downs, her inheritance from the Jackson estate remains ambiguous. Some reports claim she inherited tens of millions after Michael's passing, while others say she was bypassed in favor of his children. But in reality, Janet doesn't need her brother's wealth to validate her own. She's built her financial fortress one smart move at a time, layering income streams from music, touring, real estate, acting, and now, elite stock portfolios. While others chase viral fame, Janet is buying pieces of the companies that make virality possible. Her strategy isn't just about being rich, it's about being financially unshakable, protected by dividends, diversification, and damn good instincts. She's not riding trends, she's outlasting them. Janet Jackson's real estate moves aren't just reflections of wealth, they're windows into her soul. Each property she's owned over the decades has served a different purpose: a sanctuary, a status symbol, or a strategic investment. In 1998, she quietly purchased a luxurious apartment at One Central Park West in New York City for $2.80 million. A 100-square-foot masterpiece perched high above Manhattan with floor-to-ceiling windows offering panoramic views of Central Park. After over 2 decades of ownership, she listed the home for $9 million and ultimately sold it for $8.8 million, more than tripling her investment. But her real estate story didn't end there. In the 1990s, Janet purchased a Mediterranean-style mansion in Rancho Santa Fe, California for $4 million, a sprawling estate complete with a wine cellar, guest house, gym and lush gardens. While she eventually sold it at a loss, the experience only sharpened her property instincts. She rebounded in 1999 with a bold acquisition in Bel-Air, paying just over $6 million for a 5-bedroom mansion that blended classic Tudor architecture with modern elegance. Just 1 year later, she flipped the property for over $9 million, netting a cool $3 million profit in under 12 months. Each of these homes was more than a headline. It was a strategic play, one that proved Janet understood not only the music charts, but also the real estate market. Whether buying for peace or profit, she treated every address like an extension of her brand, elegant, private, and impossibly valuable. While most celebrities treat real estate like a revolving door, Janet treats it like a chessboard, carefully choosing her next move, always thinking several steps ahead. These properties are more than homes. They're monuments to her mastery of timing, taste, and financial foresight. Step into Janet Jackson's garage and you'll find more than just horsepower. You'll find a collection of precision, prestige, and personal taste that speaks louder than any press release. Her car lineup reads like a luxury auto auction. The Range Rover Vogue for refined all-terrain power, the sleeker Range Rover Sport for city cruising with muscle, the Lincoln Navigator for practical luxury on the go, and the legendary Porsche 993 Carrera 4S, a nod to pure performance and vintage appeal. But the crown jewel is undoubtedly the Rolls-Royce Phantom, a $490,000 marvel of craftsmanship that whispers wealth even in silence. Each vehicle in her fleet is more than transportation. It's a personal brand statement. The Range Rover Vogue, with its plush interiors and panoramic sunroof, reflects her preference for understated elegance. The Sport Edition, valued around $180,000, adds the speed and agility that matches her high-performance lifestyle. Then comes the Lincoln Navigator, often retailing for 6 figures, a massive luxury SUV perfect for travel with staff, family, or security. But for those who know cars, the 993 Carrera reveals the real depth of her taste. Often hailed as the last great air-cooled Porsche, it's not about flash, it's about feeling, precision, and legacy. And finally, the Phantom. This isn't just a car, it's a fortress of solitude on wheels, perfect for someone who spent decades dodging paparazzi and mastering the art of privacy. In total, her car collection is easily worth over $1 million, and unlike flashy rappers or TikTok influencers who show off Lamborghinis for clout, Janet's fleet is intentional, timeless, and fully aligned with her brand. Each car is a reflection of her personality, strong, quiet, elegant, and absolutely unshakable. It's not about being loud, it's about being legendary, even when you're parked in silence. For someone so globally visible, Janet Jackson has managed the near impossible, keeping the most intimate parts of her life cloaked in mystery. But behind that guarded facade lies a story filled with passion, heartbreak, secrecy, and astonishing resilience. At just 18 years old, she shocked the world by eloping with singer James DeBarge, a marriage annulled within a year due to DeBarge's personal issues. Then came her secret marriage to Rene Elizondo Jr. in 1991, a relationship hidden from the public for nearly a decade. Fans only discovered the truth after the split, which led to a high-profile court battle and a $10 million settlement. Her romance with Jermaine Dupri lasted several years and was tabloid gold, but perhaps her most life-altering relationship was with Wissam Almana, the billionaire businessman she married in 2012. In 2017, Janet gave birth to her son, Issa, at age 50, a personal milestone that defied public expectations and cemented a new phase in her life. Yet, just months after becoming a mother, the marriage dissolved, and the couple filed for divorce. Despite these turbulent chapters, Janet has never let her personal life derail her public image. In fact, she's become a master of compartmentalization, keeping her brand bulletproof even when her heart was breaking. Through all her relationships, she maintained composure and discretion, never seeking pity or spotlight. Instead, she chose growth, turning pain into power and solitude into strategy. Her story isn't just about who she loved, it's about how she survived love, emerging each time stronger, smarter, and more unshakably herself. In an era of oversharing, Janet Jackson's silence speaks volumes. Her personal life may have been marked by loss, but her response has always been the same: evolve, reinvent, and rise, every single time. Janet Jackson's legacy isn't defined by a single hit, moment, or relationship. It's a mosaic of defiance, elegance, and transformation that continues to grow even in her fifth decade of stardom. As of 2025, she's still touring, still selling out venues, and still proving that time is no match for true artistry. Her Together Again tour in 2023 was a runaway success, and her new Las Vegas residency, simply titled Janet Jackson Las Vegas, continues to add shows due to overwhelming demand. Fans from around the world flock to see her, not just because of nostalgia, but because she remains relevant, magnetic, and iconic. And that's the key. Janet never allowed herself to become a relic. She adapted, evolved, and led. She fought for ownership before it was trendy. She built wealth through discretion. She endured loss and turned it into legacy. In an industry that devours its stars, Janet became immortal, not by outshining everyone, but by outlasting them. Her story is still being written, not in ink, but in moments. A quiet Instagram post, a surprise tour announcement, a sold-out show in Vegas. And while the spotlight may shift to newer stars, the industry itself continues to exist in the shadow of the path she carved. Janet Jackson is not just a survivor, she is a silent architect of modern entertainment. And whether you remember her for Control, Rhythm Nation, or her quiet billionaire glow-up, one thing is certain: her next chapter will be just as unpredictable and powerful as the last. Because Janet doesn't follow the rules, she writes them.